Welcome to the Sales to CEO podcast. This is your host, Louie Herron. This is the only automotive podcast that shows you how to go to the next level. It is my personal mission to coach and inspire and motivate you to go from sales to dealer principal or any level you desire. Stop making excuses and start making adjustments toward the future you want. Today, we are talking about success steps in selling regardless of the product or service you offer. What's going on, guys? Louie Herron here, Sales to CEO. It's time to go to the next level. Man, we're talking about success steps in selling regardless of the product or service. And I'm going to hit you with 4 different things today that they're probably not going to be on the forefront of your mind, but they're very, very important if you want to be successful in selling anything, regardless if it's a product or service. So just sit tight, sit back, enjoy this. Again, I like to keep these right around 13 to 15 minutes. So again, if you're new, just hearing me for the first time, well, thank you. Welcome. If you like the content, I only ask, the fee is very minimal and costs you nothing. If you like the information, man, just share it with another car person, man. Let's just slowly evolve this car industry. Like and subscribe, man, and just let's keep moving forward and helping those that are all involved in our industry to make it as good as it can be, because it is a phenomenal industry. So when we're talking about selling, where there are so many different pieces of selling, and one of the things I'm going to do an episode, I think you guys will really love, exactly what to say, right? Because I think, you guys hear me say this all the time, to sell more cars, to go to the next level, I don't care if you're in management, general management, if you own a dealership, we need 2 things. We need opportunities to sell somebody something, and we need the right words to say. So we've got to always sharpen our skill sets and our mindsets, and we've always got to be taking the time to get to that next level. And it only comes with a lot of practice, a lot of hard work, but you got to practice the right things. You got to work on the right things, right? So again, remember, everything that I share with you is coming from my own 25 years of experience. Man, I've owned dealerships for over 13 years. I've owned 3 different stores. I've general managed almost 20 years of the 25 years I've been in the business, and I excelled at a very high level very quickly. And it's because of this formula. It's not me. There was nothing special about me, just like there's not a lot of things special about a lot of individuals, but you got to follow a formula. You got to follow a blueprint that works. And I found these things that I share with you to be very, very helpful to me in my selling career. And I'm still selling. Even when I'm in stores, I'm helping close car deals, doing what I've got to do on a daily basis to help individuals go to the next level. And that's what we're talking about today. As we get into this very first one out of the 4, I know when I say it initially, you're going to have heard it before, but I want to try to break it down in a way where hopefully it sinks in. One of the first steps you got to do in being successful in selling is you've got to gain some attention. You've got to gain some attention with new prospects and the sold customers. I got to ask you a question. If you've been selling cars 3 years, 13 years, a year and a half, what attention have you gained or attempted to get from your existing database of sold customers? Listen, when we're talking about going to the next level, we got to look at every nook, every cranny, every opportunity. It's not just what's coming in today. It's who we've already sold, who we've already dealt with. It would be a crying shame and embarrassing if you sold a customer a car 3 years ago. They come in to buy a car and they forgot your name. They didn't even know you were still there because you haven't had any kind of contact with them. So the first thing I want to just make sure we hammer home in this attention category is your sold customers. What attention are you gaining or getting from your sold customers? If nothing, if very little, you need to attack that, right? You've got to go after the attention of the customers you've already sold, because there's referrals, there's friends, there's family members. And when it's hot, you just sell something to somebody, guys. You've got to take complete advantage of that and make sure you stay connected with them. So we've got other episodes that talk just about keeping track of your sold customers. But I wanted to mention that because you gain the attention of new customers, which we'll get into, but also your sold customers. Now, look, not everyone is going to like you. But I got to tell you, you got to stop holding back. I've lived in this realm of people pleasing and worrying about what others think. I've lived it. I understand it, but it doesn't make it right because I understand it. I'm telling you, growing through it is better than going through it. The fear that holds you back from gaining the attention. What kind of attention? Well, it could be something as simple as social media. You don't want that attention. We're going to get to that in a second, but I'm asking you to stop holding back. Holding back in the fear that we all have, every last one of us. I don't care who you are in the marketplace. I don't care who you see on TV, everyone's got some fear, and there's always a point where someone holds back. And again, what we want in life is just on the other side of that fear and uncomfortableness. It's just on the other side. So again, just own the fact when you're trying to get attention, not everyone's going to like you. And again, as soon as you own that, life gets a lot easier for you. So again, I think when you have the confidence you need, and the fear gets less when you're sold on yourself and you're sold on your product. Because the fact of the matter is, if you really believed in what you were saying, you really believed in yourself and the product you were saying or you had, you would be aggressive. You would be like a kid. Think about a kid. People talk about, I know a lot of people say, "Oh, I'm not a salesperson." Look at kids. Kids don't sell; they close, man. I mean, kids don't even take the time to sell. They just lock it down. What do? They either whine or complain, or think about babies. I mean, they come right out of the womb closing deals up. So again, if you were sold on you and you were sold on your product, you would have that aggressiveness to get out in the marketplace and get that attention. Right? Think about car dealers in general, car business marketing. What do? High level of frequency and a high level of reach. Those that are really, really aggressive and really busting big numbers are the stores that you constantly see them on TV, hear them on the radio. They're everywhere. The perception is they're everywhere. And believe it or not, you're no different than the car dealership. You are a business within the business. And as soon as you can gather in your mind and own the fact that you could go to levels you couldn't even imagine. There are no limits. As there are salespeople that are selling 60, 70 cars a month in the United States of America. There are salespeople making $400,000, $500,000, $600,000 selling cars. Okay, it's happening, and you are no different. You have got to own the fact that you have a business within the business. Take a look at our marketplace. Just people in general. Like think of the car industry. Those you've heard. I mean, I know Grant Cardone very well. I've known him for years, and I used to go to his seminars and love Grant. And Grant helped me sell a lot of cars when I was coming up in the car business. But what does Grant do? What do the Kardashians do? What does Tyler Perry do? Look at these people on social media. They get a lot of frequency. They get a lot of reach. They take advantage of what's free and what's available to them. Again, your biggest competition is the noise in the marketplace. It's not your dealer down the street. Your greatest competition is twofold. It's you. Right? The enemy is the inner me. It's you. You are your greatest competition, and the noise in the marketplace. Everybody else that's promoting. It's not even the industry. You got tons of noise. You got to get a part of that. You've got to get inside of that noise and gain some attention. And the last thing I'm going to tell you as it regards to gaining attention, listen, you have a huge advantage because nobody has the courage to just go for it. Remember when I told you earlier, not everyone's going to like you, stop holding back? But listen, you're not the only one. Car people all across the country, managers, there's not a lot of people that innately like to run into the uncomfortableness of life, right? Merging into, man, this doesn't feel good. Man, this is uncomfortable. Look, I have many moments that are like that in my life today. But I realize what's on the other side of me winning is being uncomfortable. So you have a huge advantage. Huge advantage. Listen, you should gain so much attention. Your children, your family, your spouse, they should be helping you sell cars because they believe in you and they believe in the product you're selling. Okay, so we're going to talk about really like how do we get that done? What is the way to make sure you can gain that attention? We're going to circle back around and show you exactly my opinion of how you can gain that attention and bring that value. But I want to hit points 2, 3, and 4 real quick, and we'll close with that. But number two on making sure that you have these steps in selling regardless of the product or service you offer is criticism. Now, let me back up. Now, again, I'm telling you some steps that you probably wouldn't think in your natural mind, but think this through for a minute. Gaining attention, gaining awareness. Here's what I do, here's where I'm located, and here's what I'm about. Got to have that. Got to cut through the noise. You've got to get some people's attention. Then comes criticism. Now, when I say criticism, overcoming criticism, this is from the public. This is from your peers on the sales staff. This may even be from your staff, some manager. It could even be from your family. When we're talking about gaining attention, it almost errs on the side of narcissism. And I don't mean that in a negative way, even though it sounds negative. But what I'm saying to you is you've got to be so confident in yourself, in what you do, in your abilities, and what you stand for, that you should be able to get on a mountaintop and shout it out to everybody. Now, when you do this, you know that not everybody is going to agree with you. Most people want to avoid this at all costs, right? Because again, the public may look at you a certain way. Look at the presidency. Look at elections, right? 50% of the people hate somebody, 50% love them. When you are trying to get attention, you are going to fall into that category. Guys, I lived it. I was on TV, radio show, social media, you name it. I mean, but my position was then, and it is to this day, Louie believed in Louie. I believed in the product I was offering, and I believed in my ability to shake someone's hand that came in the showroom, that saw me on Facebook, saw me on TV, that I could shake their hand, have a cup of coffee with them, and have a great relationship with them, and truly, authentically try to help them buy something that was good for them and their family, and me make some money in the process. I truly, truly believe that to my core, and you've got to understand, just look, it's the law of polarity, right? There's an up, there's a down. There's a left, there's a right. There's light, there's dark. There's the invisible, and then there's visible. And that's no different for adoration and then criticism. It's going to be on both sides, right? So you just have to understand. But as soon as you accept this, you move on and it becomes a positive. And actually, when you own this and you're okay with this, it becomes positive fuel, not negative. I'm not saying, oh, I take the haters and I like the haters. That's cool. I mean, a lot of people say that. I get it. I understand that. But here's what I'm saying. Take it as fuel to make it more positive, to be able to push you forward. When you accept the fact that 50% is going to like you, 50% won't, it's no big deal. You've got an obligation to your family, you've got an obligation to yourself, and you got an obligation to who you work for. Do the best you possibly can. Number 3, education and knowledge. What are we talking about? What are the steps to help you sell any product or service to anybody at a high level? Education and knowledge. Again, I say all the time, skill sets and mindsets. Skill sets and mindsets. You've got to have this to have a high level of sales success. You've got to put yourself in positions constantly to challenge your mindset and challenge your skill sets. Look, it's a shame, but the truth of the matter is most people will spend $300 on a pair of shoes, maybe $300 on some new clothes, but they won't spend $300 on a program that can help them get results. Whether somebody's marketing a program on how to close more deals or be a better closer or prospect better, or it's $300-400. People are like, I don't know about that. Most people are concerned with the external versus the internal. And what I mean by that is the external is the paycheck, the internal's the knowledge. And I've been telling salespeople, managers for years, look, your company can take your check, they can't take your knowledge. Learn all you can learn. Learners are earners. You've heard that been said for years. It's the formal education versus the self-education, right? Grade school all the way up through high school, formal education. College, formal education. Yes, it will get you at whatever level that education will get you, depending on what your niche is and what you went to college for. But in the end, the self-education is you learning something that you are passionate about, that you want to get better at. So again, number 3 is education and knowledge. You need to be solid and be learning constantly. My car, when I was selling cars, and even as a manager, and heck, I'll be honest, even to this day, I do listen to music and enjoy music, all right? Avid lover of music. But in those times, my car was Automobile University. I took the time to make sure I was listening to what I needed to get myself educated to go to the next level. The last one is number 4. And this one goes back to what I said earlier of understanding it's your responsibility to succeed. It's really like almost like taxes, in my opinion, right? You're obligated to pay taxes. You're obligated to feed your family. You're obligated to produce for yourself. Production creates morale. It's not a Louie speech or a Louie talk or somebody else that orates something phenomenal, makes you feel good. Yeah, that's great motivational fuel for a moment in time. But when you understand and accept the fact that it is your obligation to yourself and to your family, that it's a responsibility to maximize yourself. Be as successful as you can be, almost like a tree. Think about this. How tall will a tree grow? How many leaves will a tree produce? It's limitless. It will grow it'll get as tall as it can get. It will never stop growing. A human being is no different. You have the limitless potential to get better, and it's your responsibility to do that. With that said, number 4 is you got to take massive action. And what I mean by that is I'm going to break this down quickly as we close because I want you to understand what type of actions am I referring to. And really, it's all about consistency. Okay, you cannot be in the every other business. You can't be in the every other day I do a product presentation. Every other time I make a phone call. Every other week I track my KPIs. Can't be that way, guys. You're not going to rise at the highest level. Your standards are too low. You've got to be in the everyday business. Every day. Look in the dictionary under every day. You know what it means? It means every day. Every single day, you've got to grow to the next level. Is this easy? No, it's not. But you're not going to find a championship half off at Walmart. To be a champion, there is no easy road. Everybody's got to put in the work. So let's talk about these sales actions you've got to do every day. Look in our industry, a powerful meet and greet. I know you say, Louie, come on, man. It's a meet and greet. I'm shaking a hands. Welcome to, my name is, and your name. Great. What can I provide you information on today? And then you talk for a few minutes, Louie, and then you try to go inside for a needs assessment. No. You take the time to be a master at the meet and greet, right? Can you put a clock on you for 10 minutes and do a meet and greet role play with somebody and actually have a conversation with somebody without even getting into the needs assessment, to have the ability to do a phenomenal needs assessment, because now you have a relationship from the meet and greet. Think about that. Next, needs assessment. Do you have a dominating, powerful needs assessment? Do you have control, positive control of the customer? Are you narrowing things down and walking them through exactly where they need to be? Are you explaining what needs to have, giving them an overview on what's going to happen in this process so they're relaxed? Are you breaking down the walls in the confrontation? Are you selecting the right product and the right path for the consumer? Not just picking a car, walking a lot, landing on a car and just driving it and realizing you're on too much car when it's time to negotiate, guys. Right? These are the activities, the massive action every single day, demonstrating the highlights of the car. Are you actually demoing the car? Are you just taking a test drive? Come on, what are we doing? Like, think about it. Are we really taking every facet of our game, every piece, and maximizing it and doing the best we can? Are we giving $1 million presentation? You're about to ask for a tall pencil. The sales manager's going to give you a big pencil, and you're going to go out there and feel intimidated because you haven't done $1 million presentation. Every facet, massive action. Are you trial closing on the product? Are you assuming the price is good? Are we making sure we're on the right car before we write this deal up and close this deal? Guys, these are the actions. Keeping track of all these steps. Do you actually keep track? How many meet and greets? How many needs assessments? How many demos? How many write-ups? How many product presentations have you done? Like, if you're not keeping track and you don't know the score, how can you win the game? How can you course correct every week when you go into the next week of what you've done the prior week? Guys, these are the small little details that make huge results that most people will never have. Massive actions on phone calls, massive actions on emails. How about videos? When you set an appointment, are you confirming the appointment through video? Are you doing the text confirmations, referrals from customers that you've already sold? Remember, guys, massive actions is the fourth thing, and you need two things to sell more cars. It's opportunities and powerful words. Look, this is Louie Herron, Sales to CEO. Look, constantly bringing you things, guys, that raise your level of thinking, trying to get you to understand what it takes to get to the next level, right? It's usually, dressed in overalls and resembles work. There's really no way around it. There's a couple of nice word tracks here and there, but in the end, you've got to do what it takes. I'm sharing with you. Look, I want you to grow, get to the next level. Until the next episode, take these things in, start working on these things, take them to heart, and let's grow to the next level. Guys, I'll see you on the next episode of Sales to CEO. Hey guys, thank you so much for listening to the Sales to CEO podcast. Look, real simple, do me a big favor. Number one, I'm totally grateful you took the time to listen, but share this, like, subscribe. This is how we build our network of growing people in the car industry to the next level. Again, like or share or subscribe right now. Until the next one, great selling, and let's go to the next level.